The Ramones, Blondie, Tucking Heads, Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, LIEGWB, FTR, and the BQE. Bus stops, taxi drivers, walk-ups and high-rises, Dicker Street and Mulberry, and Staten Island Ferry, Rikers Island, Wall Street, MoMA, Lady Liberty, Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights, Williamsburg, and...
Hey, welcome to the Vinny Vella Show. How you doing? Thank you so much. Tonight we got some great guests on the show. We got a great guest, a good friend of mine. But before we get into that, once again, I always like to introduce my girls. This is Katie, the new girl.
Hello.
Yeah, Katie. This is Carissa. Then we got Autumn.
Hello.
And we got Lucy.
Yay.
There you go. And boy, am I in heaven. Who's better than me?
Nobody.
You're right.
Nobody.
You're right. You're right, baby. Okay. Now, before we get into all of this tonight, before we get into my guests, I just want to mention a few things. I'm doing a one-man show, and it's at the. Well, you're going to be late for September 28th. You're going to be late for September 28th, I think. So, October 13th at the 61 Christopher Street in the Village on 7th Avenue, corner 7th Avenue. And it's a one-man show. It's a comedy. It's not jokes, they're real stories. And the next show is October 13th. Okay? And can we show a clip of that? And the TV screen is not on.
We're firing up now.
It's, what do you say?
We're starting right now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's great. Okay, can we show that on the screen if we have it? There it is. Okay, there you go. That's number one. Then I'm going to be appearing again. The one-man show out in Levittown. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. What?
In Long Island.
In Long Island, thank you. And I think the date is, what's the date on it? What do you say?
October 5th.
October 5th. Thank you for having this guy in the audience with me tonight. I don't know. I mean, like let me tell you something. This guy, Gary Morgan, does everything for me. He just tells me when to eat, when to stop, when to do this, when to do it. He doesn't tell me everything, but he tells me,
He's a good man.
he handles everything for me. My email, my website. This guy's the best. Without him, I wouldn't know what to do. Okay, and then we have and I'm also doing this movie called Saving Little Italy, and I think we have a magazine clip. Do we have a? There you go, and that's
the magazine that Olga Papa.
there you go.
It's called,
And that's with
Fresco.
Olga on it and Rich Rossi. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then we have something else. We have the annual Feast of San Gennaro blood drive. Yeah. Okay. And that's going to be, it's a blood drive. And it's held at the St. Patrick's Basilica Youth Center on 268 Mulberry Street between Houston and Prince here in the city in Manhattan on Sunday, September 23rd from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you have enough blood, donate a little. If you don't, if you don't have a couple of glasses of wine, smoke a joint and go there. Whatever. Okay. Now I want to get into this guy named Rich Rossi. Now Rich Rossi is the director of this film that I'm doing called Saving Little Italy. So, I don't want to get into it any further. I'll introduce him, and then he'll answer all the questions. Give him a nice hand, Rich Rossi. There you go.
Thank you so much.
So I guess we're going to have some questions.
I feel like it's the Inquisition over here. I've seen other people. You've got the picnic table. There's no chicken and potato salad.
It's just you.
I thought we were going to a picnic tonight, but and I'm away over here. I notice you keep people completely away from Carissa and Katie.
Well, that's why I pushed the chair
I know,
away from these girls.
I'm like way over. It's like I feel like I'm stepping.
Well, you know why? Because I met two girls tonight that you said you met them on a train, and all of a sudden they're here.
That's Julia and her friend Isabel.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's funny.
Met on a
Welcome.
train.
I don't know how you got them to come here. Well, you must have pretended like you had a broken leg. Or
I think,
something.
I'll tell you.
How'd you get them to come here today?
They're beautiful. young ladies. They decided they wanted to attend, right? Okay.
Well, thanks for coming.
And Ann Moeller showed up. Ann was very funny. He was introducing her. I couldn't quite remember her. She's friends with Heather Graham. Yes, good friends with her. And so we were talking. We met at a function. And she said, we met when I was wearing a negligee. And I'm like, she said, don't you remember me? I was wearing a negligee. I was like, how could I forget that? You know, all these beautiful women here tonight.
Also in my audience today, I forgot, I want to mention this guy's name. His name is Larry Costa.
Yes,
This guy,
Larry.
yeah, give him a nice hand.
Love Larry.
And
Larry's a
Larry
great
is not only a friend, he is like a Robert Goulet.
Yes, I've heard him sing. He's excellent.
And he's a fabulous singer.
Very very good singer.
So I'm going to be working with him next week.
Okay.
Anyway, so we have a bunch of questions for you.
Yes, okay.
All
I
right,
feel like
so
it's the
think-
Inquisition.
Katie kept asking me,
Well, I want to know how you guys know each other.
Okay, good question,
go back
good
to the
question.
beginning.
Well, Vinny's a star, you know, Vinny in his own right. I've seen him in all kinds of things growing up, casino, who would ever think we'd be sitting here talking to him on his show,
Right.
years later? It's amazing. But I always saw Vinny's work, you know, he was in Sopranos, Analyze This, Analyze That, I always loved his work. And we were doing a movie called Nightbird, and you know, I'm a director of the New York International Film Festival, and Vinny happened to show up, and everybody was making a big fuss, like, who's here, who's there, you know, I mean, girls throwing themselves at him, like, who the heck is this guy? It's my festival. You know, everybody's making a big deal about it. So anyway, I went up and somebody introduced us, Vinny Vella. I go, oh my God, Vinny! You know, I fell to my knees and praised him, and I was very happy to see him. And then it was my goal as the producer of Nightbird to try to get him to do that movie, which was a relatively low budget. And he's like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. I'm not going to do that. So I pursued him, and he was always very funny. But I went to Little Italy a lot. He was always with his buddies in Little Italy. And over the course of some time, we negotiated, and he was very reasonable with us. But he was in the movie Nightbird. And you play an Irishman, which is interesting.
Wow. Still?
next time I'm going to play a Chinese guy.
Well, you might if Little Italy doesn't work out, right?
You never know, you never know.
So that's how we started working together, and I just loved him, and his stories are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And at that time, we were sitting down, and I said, you know, I'm actually honored to be on his show. I mean, he's been doing a one-man show. He's in a Joe Pesci TV show coming up, maybe?
Well, I have a show that's
negotiating?
coming up, a television show that I'm going to be doing in October with Frank Vincent, Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
a television show called Mafia Heaven. It's a comedy.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And I play Frankie Schnatz.
Right. Frankie Schnatz.
Frankie
Good name for
Schnatz.
you. That's a good name.
I don't know where they come up with these names. But I'm playing Frankie Schnatz, and we're shooting in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So besides that, and all these appearances that
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
doing
be
the one-man show everywhere.
the
You just came back
one-man
from
show.
Florida. You did a show there.
You know, I just got so if without Gary, I wouldn't know what else to do because he's telling me, hey, you got to do this next week, you got to do that next week, this, that, you know.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, your schedule's gotten crazy.
Without him, I wouldn't know what the hell.
So that's how we met, and then you know I went to Little Italy and to talk to him, and he was talking about Martin Scorsese and how he got into into the Casino movie, and I mean his stories just knock you out. And now I said, "My, that's so great! Now everybody's getting to hear Vinny's stories." I thought it was a very small audience, but now the whole world will be seeing Vinny. So I'm honored to be on the show before the networks pick him up, and you girls.
So how did your role as a director start off? How did you get into
Well,
film?
actually, I've been in radio, TV, film for a long time, many years, and basically, it's a funny story, but about 3 or 4 years ago, I had a bunch of real estate, and my whole plan was to sell my real estate off and then pursue a goal in the entertainment industry, but the government decided to do that for me, so everything got foreclosed, the market crashed, and it was actually a good thing because, they say through every adversity is an equal or greater opportunity. So I kind of thought, well, I'll either kill myself or become a stand-up comedian. So I started pursuing stand-up comedy, and that brought me to New York, and I met the president of this film festival, and he was going through a bad depression because of his real estate at the time, so I was the only friend he had, that he could talk to over and over about his problems, and I was like his best friend because I could help him, I've been through it, and so he hired me as a director of that festival. One thing led to another, it led to Vinny, and I got met a lot of people that were doing movies, and they hired me as a producer. And it started working out from there. The first big feature I did, bigger feature was Nightbird.
Then you
Vinny.
brought me out to L.A.
Oh yeah. And that's of course the movie.
Sure, you need to tell us. So you together.
Well, before I brought you to LA, I got to tell you, I don't know what it is about Vinny. He's got a charisma that I've never seen. I was at Vinny Parco's birthday party, and we were trying to get him out of there to do. We were doing a shoot. We were trying to negotiate this movie deal, and I'm not kidding. Vinny's a very charmer, but I've never seen women crawling over his back, trying to get in front. I could not get him out of there for like an hour. We're like, really, I almost had to get security. Could somebody please get this man out of this nightclub.
Sounds so
it's
familiar.
true.
He wouldn't. I mean, women like holding his jacket, like
Well,
I'm like,
gonna
geez,
tell
like
you
a rock. I
something
thought it was
about-
like Mick Jagger.
I'm going to tell you something about this girl. When I met her at Curtis's wedding, and she came over to me, and I don't remember exactly what she said. I think she said something like,
No, you,
Oh, I
you
know.
introduced yourself,
I introduced yourself.
and I said, I already know who you are.
And then, without even saying another word, she just looked in my eyes and she said, "In your dream."
Well, not only your
That's about
dreams,
right.
maybe my dreams too. Now, you share
Did you or
dreams.
did you not say that?
I did. I swear I did.
we
You know,
couldn't- we
my
couldn't get
answer
him out of
was, "Keep talking. I'm not finished."
Wow.
Yeah.
So we that's that was kind of like Vinny's story. But yeah, Saving Little Italy was. You had asked about something about that.
Well, I asked how your sort of role as director started off, but tell us about Saving Little Italy. What is it about? I mean, I can guess, but tell me anyway.
Well, actually, because and I see Bill Russo's in the audience. He's a big fan of Little Italy and what's going on over there. But I guess it inadvertently started out. Vinny came up to me and he said, "Look, why don't you do a documentary?" I did one called Hey Vinny, and why don't you do a documentary about my life? And I said, well, that's interesting, but I was more headed toward the feature world. At that point, I didn't really want to do documentaries because I had just finished 2 features and I was kind of in that world. I didn't really want to do documentaries. And so, but it was interesting. And then Vinny said, well, we'll call it Who's Better Than You? And I said, oh, well, we're getting there. Then later he came back to me, he said, well, why don't you call it The Mayor of Little Italy? I said, that's really exciting. So I was at a festival, the San Gennaro Festival, and I was watching Johnny Russo sing. And at that point, it just sort of all came together. I saw him say, we got to do what we can to save Little Italy. It's starting to disappear. And I go, that's it, Vinny Vella, the mayor of Little Italy. He'll come back and he'll save Little Italy. And with a lot of collaboration of a lot of friends from coast to coast. I live in L.A. I just the names of the people, I could just say Julia and Alexander and all the people that helped collaborate, the writers, Michael Madoon. And so we all got together. There's about 25 or 30 people that just jumped on board, including Bill. And I'm talking Ann Mahler and all these other folks and Olga. And all the people, I see a lot of people here tonight. Even Agnes and Larry are here today. So, and so all the people just kind of got excited and motivated me to continue working on it. And of course, Vinny is a phenomenal actor. Starting to work with him was, I'm thinking, let me see, Martin Scorsese, who are all the people that directed you?
Oh, God, I've had Martin Scorsese, Sidney Lumet, Robert
Right.
De Niro,
Yeah,
Steve Buscemi.
right. And then you stick Richard Rossi, and he's like, who the heck is that? I was like, wait a
It's
second.
just Jim Jarmusch.
Right.
It just goes on and on and on.
I remember one time, so we've been working together for almost 3 years, and we had met, because I'd worked with him. But nonetheless, I remember one time we were eating downtown at La Bella, and his phone rings. He's talking, oh, hey, talk to one of my friends. And it's Joe Pesci on the phone.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Talking to
Really?
Joe Pesci on the phone.
Oh,
He's
wow.
very casual, nice
Wow.
man. I go, this is
He's
just,
great.
this is wild. He has, and you just wouldn't know it about him necessarily.
He's
It's
very
just-
low. He gets angry if you try to use, talk to him. But
Well,
his best man is Robert De Niro, and we're trying to get him in the movie. Can I say that?
Well, all
8 years
he
ago,
wanted
Robert was
Robert De Niro to do was just say no.
That's it. We talked
So
about
he
that.
came up with an idea, which you can't do. He said, we'll have a hidden camera, and we're going to say to him, hey, would you be in this film? He's going to go, no. And then we'll say, we got it.
And the way
can't
they
do
came.
that.
That's right. Well,
This guy
De
is
Niro gets $1 million a day.
86 me. I'll never be in another film again.
I know,
I'll be
I know,
doing
I know.
student films if you ever did
Student
that.
films for us. Well, no, the whole point of him saying no was De Niro's the owner of a restaurant in this wish list that we have, and they ask him at the end of the movie, well, I shouldn't say, but toward the movie they ask him if he's going to sell, and the big line is everything builds up to this moment where he says no. So I said, yeah, let's just get him to say, you want to be in the movie? And he'll
Yeah,
say
but
no.
just for
We got
that
the
one
shot.
word, no. Now, you know that Robert De Niro is a very good friend of mine. And, you get to a certain point where no matter what you do, you want to get paid for it. Now, he would never give you a lowball figure because if he did, then everybody else
Right.
would be calling.
Right.
So he has to keep it a little high. So for him to say no, you're going to pay at least. I don't know.
Can we
I'm
pay him
not
by the
gonna-
word?
A lot.
I was going for the
You're
one
gonna pay-
word. I figured maybe one word would
Maybe.
We'll be saying no.
Even,
No,
even
thanks.
for the word, no.
Buy
You're
it.
going to pay at least, I don't know, I'm just saying, I could be wrong. Maybe a low ball of about 300,000.
Maybe it's like that TV show, buy a word, buy a letter,
Yeah, well, there you go.
I was going
Now-
to show some stills.
Now when I get up to that point,
Well, I think you're getting there, and that's what's
Yeah,
scary.
you're
because
already
I kind of.
I'm almost there, but you
Yes.
know what? I'll still go easy.
Okay. Well, I was talking to your friend
I'll
Paul
still go easy.
Sorvino.
Carissa and I, we did a movie, And Carissa played my girlfriend in the movie, and she was fabulous.
Oh.
I'll never forget auditioning with him. It was cool.
Did you guys kiss?
Really good.
What?
Did you guys kiss?
Yeah.
Did what?
Did you
we
kiss?
Yes. I was his girlfriend, like, you know, it was in the 70s, so the set was 70s, the clothes was 70s. It was cool, yeah.
What did Vinny look like in the 70s?
And I'll
He had dark hair. He
I'll
had dark
get
hair
even
in that
further
movie.
than that. We were making out.
Whoa!
I want to see the
But
tape.
I will say, though, I auditioned. I definitely auditioned, and it was cool to audition with you.
We had
It
all
was
these
cool.
girls auditioning.
Yeah.
And they had to come in, and I don't remember what they had to say or whatever. And then when Carissa came, I think she had to make like sounds or whatever. I don't remember.
It wasn't sounds. There were lines and dialogue. It was not. It was.
What kind of movie was
It
this,
was
Vinny?
dialogue. It was
No,
dialogue.
but
It was.
when Carissa came in, I went, and then when she auditioned, I said, she's good. We still had about 4 other girls out there, and half of them looked like junkies. I don't know where they came
God.
from. And then we sent them all home, and I told Chris, I said, no, you're in. And and let me tell you,
did really
she
well
is
around
a
the
fabulous actress.
She is a
And I
fabulous
think you even cried too, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Correct? She wasn't crying over my kisses, but
No.
she was crying.
No.
She was crying after you made out. That
She was such, and we were working in a house that was like a haunted house, and it was old,
was
like from the
creepy.
late 1800s, and like there's so many stairs that go into nowhere.
It was so
and
spooky.
the house was freezing. There was only one radiator on the main floor that was working, and her and I were like
coffee in
hugging
our
that
hand, it was
radiator,
so
hugging that radiator. It
We had
was
pictures
so
of it.
freaking cool. man.
It was so like
was wondering
eerie
if
and
the camera
scary.
was
You're
rolling.
afraid to go to the bathroom. You know, you didn't want to be alone. Like if you had to go to the bathroom, it's like, will you just stand outside and talk to me while I tinkle? Because
We were
it
frozen.
was this place is haunted.
Why
You
do I
just
feel like
knew
I'm on
it.
The View? I don't know why.
Well, that was the look we
No.
were going for, right? You
So, I'm
said,
sorry?
you said that we wanted the view look.
Yes, The View, yes. No, The
Sorry,
View is-
was I
it's
the only one who caught to that
It's a
sentence,
TV show
right?
called The View with,
It's a bunch of females, but
you
your
mean-
idea was to have a
Oh,
bunch
you
of
mean the
females with
television
him.
show,
You.
The
Yes.
View. Yeah, well, you know why? You know, the View, I'm not
kinda
gonna
like
put down the show. The show is good.
Yeah.
The View.
It's a great-
but,
I
you
love
know,
this
it's all
new format.
women. And I like, this is
wonderful. You look at
this
this.
is Vinny's View.
Nobody
you know
can
what
get
I
to you.
mean?
Got all these women.
Like, I like that.
You
I
know,
like
You
which
can
is
see my own.
You know?
which is really funny about this movie, okay? Because I guess you'll see a clip in here of the film a little later.
very nice.
Whenever, I guess which one. But you know what's really funny is it seems like every time I'm around with Vinny, he's always surrounded by women, and you can never get to him. And ironically, in the movie, you'll see in this clip, it's the same thing. There's a couple of scenes where you can't get to him. These women jump up and they protect him, and 2 different scenes in this. It's pretty funny. So I think it's a reoccurring theme.
Are we going to watch the...
I think.
can we get
Oh,
this?
this is the clip now, I guess. Okay. I didn't realize. Okay, they jumped.
New York City, home to over 1.5 million people. In the heart of it is an area known as Little Italy. This is the story of saving Little Italy from corporate takeover, hedge funds, Chinese investors, and most of all, their inner turmoil.
Wait, Vinny, I need to talk to him.
Let this guy try to, what do you want from me?
I gotta talk to you, Vinny. He's supposed to be going back to New York.
I gotta go back to New York now.
I can't, now look. Now you get me all. Come on, Vinny.
Come away.
The mayor of Little Italy? Yes, sir. Let me get Vinny on the phone for you.
You got the, hello, who's this?
Can I talk to you a second?
You came all the way over here to tell me to go back. You're already in New York.
I mean, what are you doing out here? You're playing around. We need you. We're losing Little Italy. And what are you doing? You're out here screwing. You're the improv mayor of Little Italy. You're supposed to be back there helping us out. It might be too late in a couple of weeks.
All right. You know what? I'll come back in 10 days. How's that?
Jenny, what are you doing? Mom,
Oh, man.
nothing's going on with her. And who is this person?
This is Vinny. Vinny, say hi to Mom.
Who's he?
This is Eugene.
This is Eugene.
They came all the way down here.
Grandma?
Mom, and
Cover yourself up. I don't want to hear it.
You want to come on the boat?
Get off that boat.
Take
I'll
this
call
thing
the police on you.
Bye, Grandma.
We're going back to New York.
Look at that.
They look nice. What are they?
Tomatoes. Can you see that tomato?
Yeah, look at your tomatoes. They look good.
Don't be pervert.
Is there any way I can get a couple of those tomatoes? They look great. How are you?
Man, you just got back?
Like I said, every time I'm around Vinny, women are jumping up and protecting him.
But
He was amazing, and let me just say, he was absolutely amazing in California. We got him out there, and we have scenes that we're writing because of the way he was. He had this thing with an Indian, it was actually not, it was a hotel, but it was run by a Hindu Indian or something.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, did you have problems with him? And he would say stuff like, remember he said he walked around the room and his socks were white,
Oh, yeah,
and
you
then
know
they
what
were
happened?
black.
I had on white socks. So all of a sudden, I was walking around the room, and all of a sudden, I went to go put on my shoes, and my socks were black on the bottom. And I said, I could have swore I put on clean socks. So then I changed them, and I put on clean socks. Then I had to go to the bathroom, and I came back, they were black again. I said, now, wait a second. Then I looked at the rug. I put on a third pair, and I went like this on the floor, on the ground, on the floor, and they were black. I went downstairs, I said, yo, I said, your carpet in the room is filthy. I sent somebody to vacuum. I said, don't vacuum. You needed a whole new carpet up there. Somebody's got to, and then they wouldn't allow nobody to come up to my room. Somebody wanted to come up to my room. They said, don't allow visitors. You couldn't go near the pool. And what were they? What were these?
Well, as you could see, that scene is going to be in the movie. We're doing this whole scene.
So
But he
one
actually
week I kept
coming in
having
there.
problems with this guy, problems with this guy. And he says, you can't have visitors. You can't do this. You can't do that.
It was
you can't."
unbelievable.
So I says, I don't mean to curse, but like that guy had me pissed off, man. I said, why don't you shut the fuck up, man?
Vinny, can you say that?
I was ready to knock him out.
It's like Vietnam. He's reliving that moment.
Did you get it on camera?
No, we're writing that scene, so we have some scenes like that that aren't in this. But
And some people were checking in, and the guy says, oh, I know you. I've seen your movies. I said, you guys checking in? He goes, yeah. I said, don't check in. Go down there to the Days Inn. Don't you tell my customers. I said, oh, shit that.
oh, he was unbelievable.
Now, Rich, did you let Vinny ad-lib a lot? Because I've worked with you before, and I know that you're a master of ad-libbing. I think it's incredible what you do on set for the audience. Like, you'll have the script, and literally the script is Vinny, and then he'll have like one sentence, and then you just go off from there. Like, you're a master of it, and you make it look, you're incredible. You really are. And I wanted to know, Rich, did you let him do a lot of ad-libbing on
Lucy,
set?
he's, I'll tell you, it's funny, the day that we flew him out to be in that scene, you saw the women at that pool scene, which were amazing looking, beautiful women there, which I knew I had Vinny at that moment. I knew I could work with him. But we were supposed to have somebody else direct it. It's funny, because I'm producing the movie, but so we were waiting on this director, and the days got switched, and he couldn't. So then they said, well, who's directing? And I didn't really plan on directing as much as I was. And they said, who's directing? I said, I'm me. I think it was by default, and that was really my first chance of working with Vinny, and he is phenomenal. In fact, the script was being written when we shot these scenes, so I just kind of put them together, and I said, Vinny, I expect, and at some point I actually expected that from him. I said, Vinny, here's the setup. You got these people here. You got to try to. And he's just he wrote that himself. Basically.
I'm doing
that
a
was
film
him
tomorrow.
doing that.
And with me, Artie Pasquale, and Tony Ray Rossi. And I said, where's the sides? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. How do you do it? Don't worry about it. I said, who the hell am I working with? So the guy calls me up tonight. I said, listen, I don't mind, doing things at the last minute, but do I have sides? He says, oh, no. From what I understand, you're the best at ad-libbing, so I want you to ad-lib tonight. I said, okay, fine. I'm getting paid big money to do nothing. Well, I just talk. And Lucy was in a film with, we were both in a film together, and she played a bartender.
Movies, huh?
And she,
how we met him.
man,
Yeah,
she was
really
hot at
worked
that
with him.
bartender. Well, she had on like a pair of shorts and red
She's looking pretty
blouse
good
and-
now. Let me tell you.
Oh, man, we ain't gonna get into that. Oh, she
But
was
no,
hot.
he's
It was
also-
hard for me to remember my lines.
Well, I was going to say, as much as we love Vinny, he's also a great person to work with, as you all know.
Sure.
He makes other actors
He
feel
was
very
amazing.
relaxed.
To answer your question, though, in a nutshell, he is amazing. I was honored because he was mentioning the directors he worked with, Scorsese and Loomis, and I was like, to direct him was like, it was like a dream, really. He was so easy to work with, and the other actors I had to work with a lot more, but I mean, with him, it was like, Vinny, I want bop, 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 and he got it in the first take most of the time. By the way, I just want to throw, that was Michael Masucci and Ron who edited that 2-minute clip there that we had. They did a great job, Mike Masucci and all those guys.
So
Well, I know that we don't have much more time to go. That much I do know. So I want to thank everybody here in the audience. My friend Mikey that came down, he's another actor. And Olga, wherever she is.
Olga's over there.
Maybe she was the one in the magazine cover with Rich
That's her
Rose.
tomatoes, though.
And
There's her tomatoes in the clip.
in a few weeks,
And
what
when
happened?
can they see Saving Little Italy?
When will it be?
I mean, when
Will the
when
viewers
will
be
we
able to
see,
see it?
Save Little Italy?
Yeah, right now we're
Did you
negotiating.
say less than a year?
Yeah, I would say by next year. We're trying to get Steven Tyler in it, and Paul Sorvino, and De Niro, and Pacino. So we have some big ideas about, and so we're in some negotiations with them. Actually, Steven
If
Tyler.
you want us to read, you just let us know. We're happy to audition.
Steven
If you
Tyler trying
want
to
me
get the picture.
to put the lip gloss
We would,
on
you know what?
Steve
I would like.
Tyler,
Can
I'm
I?
here.
Can they all be in the movie? I would love to have
We've
them.
had Chinese girls in L.A. Now we're back in New York.
You got it. That's right. That's right. That's
You
right.
know what I mean? I'd like to give my girls a little.
The girls got it.
Wait, I was going to give them all a plug. That doesn't sound right. Give them all a shot. That's better.
I wouldn't touch that one.
I don't know that either.
That's very
There you
good.
go.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we're back
Yeah,
in New
absolutely.
York.
Well, they're all actresses. You're all actresses.
Reunion.
aren't you?
Yeah, reunion.
And you're union.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we do our thing.
He is so funny.
Talented.
He is hysterical. But he's so
insidious.
natural on camera and so easy to work with.
Because I've worked
Phenomenal.
with so many people, and I'm on so many sets. I've done about 50 some odd movies.
Wow.
And I see people always tense. The thing is, when you get to a job, you should have your lines and everything done. Not go in the corner when you get there and start meditating. That means you didn't do your homework. You're doing it now on a set.
Yes.
You know what? So when I come to a set, I already know my thing.
Cool.
Good luck to you.
Well, thank you so much, and you guys will be in the movie.
Give yourself that.